the most dangerous prisoner in the UK, known as Brain Eater. Hey guys, how's it going? Dudey here, I am back with another video. Today, I wanted to look at the case of a man who is currently incarcerated in a glass box under the prison known as Monster Mansion. This is Robert Maudsley. Just before I begin, I have to say I'm intrigued to know what you guys think about this one, okay? Because this guy, he is a murderer. He has murdered 4 people, but the people that he murdered weren't good people. And that leaves this whole thing in this weird, morally grey area in a way. I don't know. I'm just intrigued to know what you think. So let me know down below after you've heard the case what you think about Robert Maudsley. So this man has spent over 40 years in solitary confinement. He is known as Britain's Hannibal the Cannibal, or the Brain Eater. He is locked away in a specially built glass cage. This cage was built specifically for if inmates murdered other inmates, and it is located beneath Wakefield Prison, also known as Monster Mansion. I do just want to let you know I have another video coming out on Monster Mansion because, well, it piqued my interest. Why is this place called Monster Mansion? Well, of course, because it houses all of the monsters. So I'm going to have a video coming to you very soon about said monsters in said mansion. So as of recently, Robert Maudsley is officially the longest serving prisoner in the country, and he has killed 4 people, 3 of which were inmates within the prison. Robert was born in Liverpool in 1953, and by the time he was 6 months old, he and his brothers and sister were put into care. They were looked after by nuns for 9 years. After the 9 years, his parents got back in contact and actually took custody once again. Robert recalls his childhood in an interview saying, "All I remember of my childhood is the beatings. Once I was locked in a room for 6 months and my father only opened the door to come in to beat me 4 or 6 times a day, and once he bust a .22 air rifle over my back." 12 months after moving back in with his parents, Robert, and only Robert, was placed into foster care. By the age of 16, Robert moved down to, well, ran away really, to London, where he fell into drugs. He also attempted to commit suicide twice whilst in London. He ended up in a psychiatric ward where he said that the voices in his head were telling him, commanding him to murder his parents. In order to keep his drug habit alive, Robert became a gigolo, which is a male sex worker, and it was through this work that he would find and kill his first victim. Robert was picked up by a labourer called John Farrell. Now, according to Robert, John Farrell showed him pictures of children that he claimed he abused himself. This infuriated Robert, and so Robert garroted him, stabbed him over and over, and caved his head in with a hammer. This, of course, led to Robert being incarcerated. He was sent to Broadmoor Prison, and at the age of 24, he and another inmate, David Cheeseman, they dragged the convicted paedophile, David Francis, into a room and barricaded the door. They tied David Francis down using some ribbon that they got from a record player that was in the room, and because the door was barricaded, the prison officers couldn't gain access to help save David Francis. For the following 9 hours, they tortured Francis until he was dead. They held up his body to the spy hole to almost, show off what they had done to the prison officers. The prison officers eventually gained access into the room where they found the extent of the damage to Francis's body. Now, rumor has it, legend has it, that basically they found Francis's head caved in, cracked open like a boiled egg, and a spoon placed inside. Thus, the myth, the legend of Robert being the Brain Eater was born. However, there was a prison officer that was there that day that claimed that that was not the case at all. What had happened was the spoon was fastened into a shiv. That shiv was inserted into the man's ear and rammed until it penetrated his brain. However, even with this knowledge, that did not stop the rumours from circulating around the prison. From here, he was sentenced to manslaughter and sent over to Wakefield Prison, the Monster mansion. It took Robert just 2 weeks to kill again, and this time he killed 2 people. He lured Salney Darwood into his cell. Now apparently Salney was in there because he had murdered his own wife. Now Robert tied a garrote around Salney's neck and swung him around, smashing his head into the walls until he was dead. Now from here, Robert hid Salney's body under his own bed. He did try to entice some other people into his cell, but no one was having it. So Robert went out on the hunt for another victim. He found Bill Roberts. Now Bill Roberts was in jail for sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl. Now he attacked him with a homemade shiv in a frenzied attack, hacked at his skull and smashed his head against the wall until he was dead. After killing the 2 men, Robert went over to the prison guard's office, laid his knife down or his homemade shiv down on the table and said that there'll be 2 less people when it comes to roll call. Now when he was asked why he did this, he said, "When I kill, I have my parents in mind. If I had killed my parents in 1970, none of these people need to have died. If I had killed them, then I would be walking around as a free man without a care in the world." Now, due to the danger that Robert posed to the other inmates, he was sent to that glass cage. And that is where he still resides to this very day. Now, Robert has appealed many, many times to be released just from the glass cage or to be allowed to die. His final appeal has finally been denied. He will never have another appeal available to him. He has said many times, "Why am I here? What is the point? This is a waste of resources. This is a waste of food. This is a waste of prison officers' time. This is just silly." He's even suggested that they just give him a cyanide pill that he can take himself and get it over and done with. But of course that was vehemently denied. He then asked if he could just be released back into general population. He just wanted to be around people, but that also was denied because the officers just believe that he is such a threat to other people. Now, friends and family of this man do claim that he is a very calm, very nice, very peaceful and very intelligent man, but who knows? I mean, the thing is, the conflicting thing for me is this guy murdered bad people. He murdered a man that murdered his own wife, and he murdered 3 paedophiles. So I'm not saying, you know, that he should be given any special treatment, but it's one of them. Do you know what I mean? Let me know down in the comments. So he has to stay in this glass cell, and inside this glass cell, all he has is a concrete slab to sleep on, a table and chair made out of compressed cardboard, a toilet and a sink. He complains regularly of the psychological damage that this isolation has inevitably done to him. So there we go, a very interesting case. I would love to know what you guys think of this one down below. Please do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you so much. Like I said, guys, I have another video coming up about this prison, the people that are inside this prison. So if you're looking forward to that, also let me know. Thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate you. I'll see you very, very soon. Sweet one. Geese.